opens up the box and plays the game. He never reads instructions cause they're lame. He's Basil. He plays the game so badly, his eyes are twitching madly. He's here again so sadly. He's Basil.
Hello, welcome back. Right, I apologise if I sound a bit scratchy. I'm just getting over yet another ear, nose and throat and chest infection and stuff. Right, getting into it. I really love covering homebrew games. There's so many of them coming out. The Spectrum homebrew scene is so strong. It's quite tricky to sort of keep up with everything. This is Knights, and it's Darryl Sloan's entry into the homebrew scene. And it's his very first homebrew game, and there will of course be a download link included in the description box below from where you can download the game if you like what you see from it. Now, it will be a zipped file, so you will need a utility which can unzip it to give you access to the tap file, but those are fairly abundant, so you shouldn't have any difficulties with that. Right, what do we have in Knights? Apart from Andy Green's fantastic artwork there, we have got a very basic, simple puzzle game based on the knight piece from chess, which can only move in an L shape, as you may well be aware if you're a chess fan. If you're not, you probably know that anyway. I don't know anything about chess. I wouldn't know a Sicilian defence if it came and kicked me up the arse. But what you have to do in Knights is go through the various levels screen by screen. You can see the checkerboard represented there, and you have to basically make sure that you get your knight into its sort of home square, if you like, which is the square that you see with the sort of circle in it. Now, as you will see as it goes through, eventually you get different coloured knights and different coloured squares that you've got to get them on, and it's a very simple premise, but Knights is really playable. Now, looking at the screen there, you can see everything's very simple, the actual gameplay screen. The keys are Q, A, O, P and space to move your knights around and make sure that you get them to the home base, etc. Now, in the top left of the screen there, you've got your sort of level indicator. You can see there I'm on level 1, screen 3, and to the top right, you will see that there is a code. You can save your game and restart at any time by just jotting down the code of the level you got to. So if you had a marathon playthrough session of Knights, then you would be able to revisit the last level that you left next time you loaded it back up, which is a really good idea, because there's an awful lot of gameplay in this. As you can imagine, as you get further and further through the levels, the game gets progressively more difficult, and there are some real head-scratching moments in this. Now, I'm thick. I'm not very good at puzzle games, but I do enjoy them, and there have been several incidents of Baldric-style moments when he's being taught to count by Blackadder, where I'm just sitting there blank-faced, not being able to work out how to do it. But eventually, because there's no time limit, you can eventually work your way into solving the problem and getting yourself onto the next screen. And because of that, there's a really good sense of achievement that you get when that happens. Now, puzzle games, the simple game design, simple game designs are often, very often the best, and Knights is a really great first effort. I've played this quite a lot. Now, just to illustrate how much gameplay there is, RZX Archive has already done an entire walkthrough of this game, and the video, excuse me, is about 3.5 hours long, so there's an awful lot of game in this. It's written mostly in BASIC as well, which is, again, another great achievement. Now, the graphics, the game graphics, as I said, they're very simple, but they don't need to be anything spectacular. They do the job they need to do. Sound-wise, there's a little bit of, there's a few spot effects, and whenever you complete a level, as you will hear, because I do manage to complete level 1, yay! There's a sort of beeper tune that plays. It will play in your emulator on 48K mode, and it's really good fun. I do suggest, especially if you like this kind of game, that you check it out, because I've not seen many sort of homebrew puzzle games. That's not to say that there aren't any. Like I said, the sort of Spectrum scene is so strong now. There's stuff coming out left, right and centre, and it's difficult really to sort of keep up with it. And a lot of the time, when you find new stuff, it's completely by accident. I just happened to notice on Darryl's Facebook page that he was working on a game and had released it, and that was the first I'd ever sort of heard of it or seen of it. So I like to try and bring these games to your attention, the audience's attention, because, you know, it's taken him a couple of months to do this game. It's based on a PC game called Arzola Knights, which Darryl really enjoyed. And his challenge to himself was to write a game and see how well it would translate to the Spectrum. Now, again, I will include another link to a video for Arzola Knights, where if you wish to, you can compare the two against each other. And you can see how the Specky version fares up against its big brother. Yeah, I like to bring these games to people's attention, etc. And we must continue, especially when the games are good and playable, to let people know that we appreciate all the work they do in bringing this to us for free, because you know, it's their own time, their own effort. They've got to fit programming a game in around, you know, all sorts of lifestyle things, you know, work, family, etc. So it's really important that they know that their work is appreciated and that they bring us more stuff, because it's all great. Now, going back to puzzle games, I used to like Split Personalities, which I've covered quite recently. I liked Jumbly by Don Priestley, although I found that quite difficult. But what other kind of puzzle games of the type are there that you may know of, or that are worth checking out? If there's some that I see that I like the look of, then I may well go and have a look at them. Anyway, you can see that this video goes on for about 15 minutes, during which time I get sort of halfway through level 2. The first level is more or less a tutorial level, which just sort of eases you into the gameplay. As you can see, things are more and more complex now. There are squares that you cannot move into. Those are the ones represented by the checkerboard thingy on the thing. Thingy on the thing. Oh, that sounds great, doesn't it? By the checkerboard square on the main play area. That sounds much better, doesn't it? Anyway, I think I've said all I need to say about Knights. It is a really good game. I'm pleased I discovered it. Well done, Darryl. Please show your support to Darryl and follow the link that I've put in the description box. Download the game and have a go at it, because it really is great fun. It's head-scratchingly frustrating at times, but there's a real sense of achievement when you actually sort of work a puzzle out that, you know, you spent 5 or even 10 minutes on, that one screen took me to get through. Because, like I say, I am thick. RZX Archive, they just whizzed right through it. So there you go. Right, if you like the video, please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. But if you do subscribe, please take the time to join in the conversation and the discussions in the comments section, particularly in relation to the points I've raised about, you know, homebrew puzzle games, about puzzle games in general, things worth checking out, because that's what it's all about. Have a great Easter. Try not to get too fat on chocolate. My voice has managed to get through this really quite well, actually. I've had about 4 or 5 run-ups at this narration. The previous 4 times I just descended into a coughing fit, but I seem to have got that off my chest now. Okay, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care and goodbye.